Hello, gorgeous Earth and I fam. Welcome to the Earth and I community. Thank you so much for being here. Such love to you, such divine intervention on your journey. I hope you're exactly where you're meant to be and you're doing exactly what you're meant to do. I know you are. Today's video is going to be centered on the integration of self, and specifically integrating our shadows and some fundamental points that we must accept in order to really go to these higher dimensions. And the underlying tone is the empowerment that nothing is wrong with you, nothing is as shameful as we believe it to be, and that we all have this lingering in our lives. And the more that we can unite in fullness together, the more we can understand it for one another instead of not. With that, we're going to flow right into it. Also, I'm glad that you guys enjoyed the movement video I uploaded last week. I'm definitely going to do that again, so I appreciate your feedback as always. This hit me when I realized we cannot get rid of parts of self. No matter how hard we try to, no matter how much we want to, we cannot rid ourselves of aspects of who we are, of what we were born into, of what we've experienced, and what choices we have made. It's truly a beautiful concept because it shows us that no matter how ugly or shadowy something might be, we are still destined to integrate it, to make it love, to bring it into our fullness. And when we can agree that everyone has these lingering in their lives, moving through their energy fields, we don't feel so alone. We don't carry as much shame. I believe many a times that we put so much stuff on the back burner, we kind of put it out of sight, out of mind, because we feel like it's not normal, because we feel like we shouldn't have that, be carrying this aspect, because this is not good. And it's just simply not the case. All that is doing is putting it in our subconscious in a deep state, deep-seated subconscious, and it's actually influencing our decisions. That's the craziest part. And that's why we can't get rid of things. We can only truly face them if we want them to dissolve and to no longer hold space in our psyche, in our mind, in our etheric field. It's all love. It all comes into love. And as crazy as that sounds, no matter how horrible something can be, we have the power to alchemize it. And when we're walking on our path, sometimes we question, well, why would I have this experience? Why do I need to be carrying around this baggage? And it is truly the power of alchemy to see how much you can love something, even if it goes against everything that you're becoming. And it doesn't mean you have to identify with it. It doesn't mean we have to, take it in and make it our personality. But it does mean that we need to make it something more than just a stain. And feeling that empowerment really takes us to new highs, new levels. And in those little tweaks, those maybe regrets, there's so many, this is such an umbrella, like regrets, family dynamics, decisions that we've made. There is a lot of wisdom there. I say that a lot, but it is truly the truth. When we're willing to truly nosedive into these hidden aspects, into these hard times we've had, it is seeping with juice, with knowledge, with perceptions of that version of self that maybe did that thing. And if it's beyond our consciousness, then we get to tap into understanding a higher version of the collective, which is also so amazing. And the overall underlying message here is that there is nothing to be afraid of. There is nothing that you have done that is going to degrade your true worth in the eye of God. The universe doesn't play that game. It's not that, oh, you do something once, you can never come back from it. It's not the case. It just requires us to take some massive steps in order to get into that space that we really want to be in. And many a times the problem is that we're not even willing to take those steps. We're not even open to that. We've kind of just drawn this assumption and just decided that that's it. I give up. That's it. I've done this. I can't ever live the way that I want to live. There's a lot of perceptions and false ideas that have been pushed on us, specifically regarding wealth and abundance and worth. That's the word, worth, that have told us what we need to do to be worthy of the abundance, of the wealth of this world, of true blessings, peace, contentment, all these beautiful things that are our birthright. We've been fed these ideas from youth about what is required in order to have those things. And it's kind of that we get to the point that we have to override those ideas. We have to, even if we're not seeing any real evidence of them, the realization that everyone is entitled to this. Everyone has the capacity to be gifted in wondrous ways. But it's a dance. It really is a dance of how much love we're willing to let into our lives. And that love is unconditional. It's willing to love every ugly part about us, every ugly thing about our neighbor. And the key to that is acceptance, is acknowledgement of what one has done, of what one has said, any of those things, of where one is right now. If that maybe is what's coming up for you, your shadow is kind of where you are in your life right now. Realizing that there are two different paths that one can take when it comes to becoming full self. And you can deny aspects of self, past experiences. You can pretend like that didn't happen, pretend like you're not struggling with something, or you can choose to integrate and alchemize. And that is the path of least resistance. Now, there's a lot of stops on that path, but there's a lot of guidance as well. I think both as humans, we have walked both paths, but eventually you have to commit to one. And the alchemizing path, it's not easy because it requires us to look at everything. It's kind of like you get locked into a chair and you have to watch a movie of the most horrible parts of your life, whether it's things that you did, things that were done to you, and you have to love that movie just as much as you love anyone's. And it doesn't mean a false kind of love. It doesn't mean that, oh, you just love it because you know that it's going to give you the keys to the universe. No, because God knows what's authentic and what's not. And you have the capacity to genuinely love these ugliest parts. Our knee-jerk reaction is to kind of cope with things, to not look at them, to not integrate them. And it's understandable because it's a lot. It's very heavy. But the more that we've trained ourselves to realize that that's a natural part of the process, we give ourselves space, we give ourselves time. It can take months and years to truly integrate something. And that's okay. It's never actually on our time. That's the other beautiful thing about this point, this path, is that it's never really on our time. We're trusting something greater than our conscious mind, and we're tapping into something that's beyond this world, that understands the vibration and frequency of everything. And the more that we can put our trust there, the more that it's going to be shaken out. It's going to free what it's been holding in captivity, and it's going to integrate with our all of everything, empowering us further. And once we move past and through an aspect of shadow, a vulnerable point in our life, we're a whole new person on the other side. We have so much more trust in the process, trust in who we are and what decisions that we make. I'm gonna pop a squat. Hopefully you can still see me. It's really early in the morning. I just kind of woke up a little bit ago, but I really wanted to share this message because I feel it's a very important one. We are all worthy of the gift of abundance. And as human beings, as co-creators of this experience, we have this free will that decides what we're open to receiving, what floodgates we're willing to open, which ones we're willing to keep closed. And many a times our traumas, our difficulties, our shames are really what are keeping the locks on those gates. Recognizing that every human being on the planet struggles with these at one point or another. We all have a shadow. We all have any energy that needs to be integrated. The matter of time differs for everybody. The way that we integrate it differs for everybody. But the better we can get at doing that, at creating the space, and even the simple acknowledgement of this as part of the process, the more fluid our life becomes. Everything starts working for us. We start fully working towards the truth of our dream desires, and we can unite with every part of self, the big parts, the little parts, and that's how it's supposed to be. We are fullness, we are wholeness, we are complete. And when we say that, we can't be discriminating against certain parts of self. We can't be labeling what we feel is good or bad, worthy or not worthy. Ultimately, that is not up to us. That is not our power to exercise. Our power is love. And the true practice of alchemy is a miracle. It's truly magical how we can change our perception deeply by really sitting with something, with embodying love and fullness. And we get divine support in that. We get all the signs, all the symbols, all the love, all the feelings beyond, the material world. And so as we wrap this up, I want to really empower you to dissolve this idea that you have to get rid of anything, any part of yourself. You don't need to get rid of it. You need to alchemize it. You need to integrate it in a way that serves who you're becoming. I also want you to know that this is nothing to be ashamed of. We all have little aspects of who we are that, we wish were different, but they're not different. We have to learn to love them. And when we do that, we up-level our consciousness. We're literally changing our consciousness by viewing a part of self in a new way. How crazy. And we know what is happening inside is going to happen outside. So we're going to be able to love higher, love more, love deeper. It's stunning. It is so gorgeous. And I'm very passionate about the fact that everyone is worthy. Everyone is worthy. It's just a matter of being strong enough to work through your trials and tribulations. But know that you always have God with you. You always have greater power. You always have higher consciousness. And whenever you need it, lead on it. And sometimes you just have to step away, and that's okay. All right, my Earth and I fam. Super grateful for you guys. It's going to wrap up today's flow. I would love to connect with you all further, hear from you, love, love, love. You know all the things that I say. But until next time, my dear ones, love all of you all the time.